more can I say? I just wanna be there. I just wanna be the one you love. I just wanna be there. I just wanna be the one you lean on.
People against them to his boss. What do you have to say to this?
Well, I don't know the meaning of inciting under these circumstances. But if going there as a member of parliament to ascertain situations for myself, waving at people and telling people that as per his directives means inciting, then there's something in this country.
Right. Honorable, I want to say thank you for this morning. Thank you for your time. Have a good morning.
Thank you, too. Thank you.
Honorable Henry Quartey is Member of Parliament for Ayawaso Central, and this issue has been making the rounds yesterday after a demolition exercise ongoing at the Tiptoe Lane, where he went to intervene, and it has actually turned out to be something else. Must it be the president himself who would appoint that this is the person I want him to do my communication for me, or it must be left for the institutions to appoint that I want Mr. Woyome to speak for President Mahama, or Ministry of Information has appointed Mr. Woyome to speak for President Mahama?
No, I mean,
who must be
I mean, I keep telling you that it's okay. Maybe I didn't say, but the point is that when it comes to the presidency, I think the fulcrum will be who they think, and it will be in consultation with maybe the chief of staff, the president himself, and maybe the vice president coming together and they think who should do this work. I can't be here to say that was what I mean and pinpoint what went into it. It's about who is capable by their view, and then is given the job. I think it is about the same thing. I don't think somebody would want to say that yes, somebody has been handpicked, and maybe I don't know. I can't say much about that. Yeah.
All right.
And then when you come to maybe the various departments where there are public relations officers, I mean, they have been also employed by the system to maybe relate with the public on issues concerning the organization, and also to tell their own story, and so on and so forth.
Right. So I will go into the other issue, and I will start it with you tell me how you have seen or how it came to you when this whole hula baloo about Honorable Babin saying something, Standugbe coming to reply, and let's say getting into the fray. Somebody says keep quiet. Someone says, hey, Standugbe, we've done this. Someone says, Abba Babin, you didn't perform well. I mean, that whole fray. How did it come across to you?
Well, personally, I would always want that any differences, any challenges is discussed within instead of maybe out. So I think I would rather suggest that less is said about this so that we let things calm down within the party, and then I believe the General Secretary is called on everybody to let cool heads prevail, I think, in a nutshell, so that at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat and we don't need to be seen fighting each other. I mean, that is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. I have been joined in the studio by Honorable William Ejapon Kwetu. He is MP for Achimota constituency. Honorable, thank you for coming and good morning to you.
You're welcome.
We've done a bit of education on how government communication should go. And maybe briefly you can tell me what you also think about it, and then we can continue with what we were talking about.
Yes, I think that the government communication may be a bit different from political groups communication, because any political party comes into power and decides what it wants to do.
But then we actually, I gave him three categories: whether or not it is a spokesperson for president that should be talking, or it is the party that should be talking for the presidency or for government, or it is the information ministry that should take charge of every communication about government. But I think the understanding we got to is that for parties, for example, they will probably do things that we told you we are going to do this with our government. This is what we've been able to achieve. Okay, so the link between the information ministry and maybe the communication team, that would depend after some consultations are done.
You see, once a political party is elected into power, you go into governance and you have to follow the structures put down by the government or by the people of this country. But of course, per our constitution, the president has a lot of power to change a lot of things to suit whatever he wants to do. And so when he comes and he decides that, well, I'll even combine Ministry of Information and Communication together, like we used to have, nobody can say anything. And the president has the power to do that. And so at the presidency, now they also have the power to appoint so many ministers in charge of so many things that they think that they want to offer the people of this country. In my government, I mean, in Kufuor's government, we saw Kufuor having a press secretary, and then they have a spokesperson for Kufuor, that's the president, several of them. And there was always that antagonism between those who were supposed to be speaking for the government. Who was in charge of what? Unless you are there, you wouldn't know. Okay? So to me...
But if you have a press secretary and you have a spokesperson, it's quite clear. You're a secretary, you're a secretary. You're a spokesperson.
No, but that is press. Because there's also the secretary there. The government's personal secretary is there. Apart from the chief of staff, the government has a secretary. Because in the last government, I knew Mr. Babaku Mensah, who was the secretary to President John Mills. Okay, and then the press secretary was there. I knew who was there as the spokesperson. Now John Mahama is in power, is the helm of affairs, and he also has all these positions occupied by various people. So Sandogbe probably is a spokesperson for John Mahama. And then
now I can't tell what Sandogbe does, whether he's a spokesperson or...
No, we often see in the papers that he's a one of the spokespersons for John Mahama.
Mr. William, you can tell me.
I don't know whether he's official or not.
Is he a spokesperson for President Mahama?
Well, I want to believe so. Yes,
you want to believe so?
Yeah,
he is.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we see it in the papers.
Yes.
Yes.
We see it in the papers. The papers are papers. We want to know the official. I'm trying to raise.
Someone's appointment will not come to you standing outside. If you're outside, you wouldn't know.
No, but we have the right to know who speaks for President Mahama, so that if Honorable Woyome tells me something, I don't take it from the fact that I can tell. Maybe I'm writing a story. He says something. I have to write the spokesperson for President Mahama. Honorable Woyome says ABCD. If I don't know and I'm not too sure, I don't know what to write. And we have the right to know who speaks for the president, who does the information relay to media, who does the secretary job, who does the party work. That's why I'm,
you see, the secretary's job, you see, as a special assistant to a former special assistant to Ghana, the chief executive of Ghana Cocoa Board.
Yes.
I used to receive a lot of letters from Babaku Mensah, and then it will be indicated. That was when I got to know that he was the secretary to President Mills. Okay, so every communication, most often, was signed by him on behalf of the president. So I got to know that. But this wasn't announced. It wasn't, I mean, his appointment will not be in the paper for everybody to see that he's a secretary to the president. And then we also used to have Anyi who used to talk for the president. And then there was also a press secretary. I've forgotten his name, so it goes by some naughty name. They are all there. And like I gave you examples of President Kufuor, they were also there. And I knew what was going on between Koran Japan and the other people.
Fighting for positions. We had Andrew Awuni, who
very good.
Clearly I could say was the
yes.
spokesperson for president. I could take his word for it.
Yes. And then a press secretary came. He wasn't the spokesperson for President Kufuor. Okay, he was said to be a press secretary. Who a press secretary is, I don't know, unless you get there and it is defined to you, we didn't know. Probably, but by the name, I would think that press secretary is someone who gets in touch with the press, and Koran Japan used to do that. He would call the press at the presidency and brief them on what the president wanted to do at any particular time. This time, with the NDC government, it is being shifted to the Ministry of Information. You see Ayaga and his assistants doing that. Yes, very often. And so, for now, in fact, I don't know. Maybe it might have escaped me. I don't know who is the press secretary for John Mahama, but I do know that Sandogbe and some other people talk for him. I wouldn't know whether
exactly
they are the press secretaries.
my confusion.
Yes.
I wouldn't also know because now Sandogbe, Honorable Babin saying something for Sandogbe to come and reply, and then somebody says something and blah, blah, blah. I really don't know. Surprisingly, I don't know why the information ministers haven't said a thing about this whole fray.
No, but the issue is this. I think it's an internal matter, and there will be a way of going about it, solving it. So it shouldn't be. Don't be surprised that maybe the Ministry of Information or none of the ministers or deputy ministers are maybe commenting on the matter. You see, again, all of this the style chosen by the president to get its information out there, his information out there, the government's information out there, is what I think so far we have been seeing. That a lot of the time the deputy ministers of information, do the public relation work a lot of the time. That is what we see. And then the Minister for Information himself sometimes also appear to also have some interaction with the media. And so, corruption. You see, so far, it's just about branding somebody is corrupt. Then I want to ask you who is talking. What is making you think that this person is corrupt? What facts do you have? Fine. Maybe you don't have all the facts. Do the extra work for Mother Ghana. Do the extra work, bring the people along, take everybody along, do the investigation. Bring out the facts. We want the information. And then when the information is put out there for everybody to see that this is what is wrong, then let's see who will be so weak in saying that don't go and prosecute. This, for me, it's an issue. Look, corruption is so bad. Let us fight it with all our might. We can't just pretend to be, is it ostriches? Where there are problems and we pretend we don't have problems. No. Where there are problems and we can put our fingers on the problem proper, that means that we have the facts in hand. Let's confront it and deal with it. This is mine. I get it. So whoever raises the issue that, okay, we have there's corruption in the system. Look, I'm not doubting it. So far, I also have the perception. Like you, like everybody else. I get it. We all are having the perception. But let us go the extra mile. Let us go the extra mile. And then whatever it is that is agitating my mind about something, let me just go deep and get the facts out if somebody is not doing that. I've never heard that.
No. It came about, maybe you are not up to maybe listening to the news. It came about when he made his former spokesperson a deputy minister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abu
Jinapor
was made a deputy minister, or is it for energy? Or
that was when he was vice president. When he,
yes.
Before.
Before
he became president.
When he became president,
yeah.
Before this, Abu was made a minister.
Yes.
He was still speaking for him on TV everywhere, and then he was made a minister,
yes.
And the gap was created. And so somewhere along the line, I heard that Standogbe was to be his spokesperson.
Yeah,
my
point is, you heard. It is not an official communication to us.
No, but who have they ever communicated officially to anybody on appointments?
Apart
from you asking, recently we saw it in the papers.
Actually, at least from the former government, we know that we've had official communication so far. At least ABCD is presidential spokesperson. I mean, I am struggling to actually really know, apart from what the ministers for information have been doing daily, giving us what is happening in government. I don't know. I can't put my point on that he is a spokesperson for President Mahama.
But at least he was part of the communication team.
You see, I don't know.
Standogbe, you mean?
Yeah. Standogbe was mentioned among the communication team of NDC.
Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any correlation between Stan's position, either as a communication team member or not, and the fight against corruption. I don't see it.
No, I was going to come to the corruption, but
I don't see it. The issue is that with Stan's whatever, let us leave it and then tackle the issue of the corruption.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that one we'll have to do justice to it.
We'll do that. Yeah. I think obviously Stan's problem was not about the corruption issue. It was about who is talking, and I have a problem with you, and I want to say ABCD.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the corruption matter.
Yes. The last time I came here, I told you that corruption is visited in the whole country, right from the village, the traditional system. Funeral donations are mismanaged by people. I belong to a family, so I know it. It comes up everywhere. He was in Parliament when recently they came to explain to us. They said it was for our information that they're going to change the method of drawing up the budget, moving away from activity-based budget to program-based budget. And we put the question, how much is it going to cost? The only answer they could give was that the software was going to cost us $1.7 million. So the software forms only one aspect of the total cost. We didn't know the total cost. And I asked, if the software alone is 1.7 million, it means that the total cost will be somewhere in the region of maybe above 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. It wasn't this year's budget. Where did they get the money to go ahead? And they are saying that this is what they are going to implement when they are bringing this year's budget. It wasn't in 2013 budget. Where are they getting the money? And why are they not coming to Parliament to seek approval before they do it? They are technocrats. The technocrats will always sit in the various ministries, and then whatever happens is given to the politician as a person responsible. Okay? So, to me, corruption starts right from the village to everywhere. And Gbagbo's statement was that he hasn't seen any president, anybody who has that political will to fight corruption. He did not leave Kufuor's government out, he did not leave Ronnie's out. He made a sweeping statement, a general one. But in the current dispensation, it is His Excellency John Mahama that we are talking about. Of course, to me, if you want to extend it back, it will affect President Mills, former President Mills, Martin Amidu, wrote certain letters, mentioned so many things, and he dared them and nobody could raise an issue. Okay? Babin is in there. Probably he's seeing what is going on. That is why he's trying to voice it out. According to him, he tried several times to get in touch with the president. We all wish that the truth will come out finally. And then whether he says exonerated or whatever. But you feel so bad if you are linked to it and everything. Let's all fight it. Irrespective of what it is. Last week, let me just add, last week my brother went to do something and he was arrested. Then MP. And then I inquired about the issue. What did he do? He did this, he did this. Now I put my phone down, let the law take its course. He's behind bars now.
Wow.
Yes.
Your brother.
There was nothing, yes, there's nothing I could do about it. He went driving drunk, had some, and then went over a ramp and killed somebody.
Oh.
He wanted me to go and see, talk about it. And he was caught drunk, driving. What powers do I have to go and take him out? You want me to go and do that? No. I won't do that. The law is taking its course.
But you see, it all depends on, of course, we need to be very objective, irrespective of whether it's your brother or not. Very objective. For instance, this what I'm trying to discuss concerning, because I've lived that case and I have read and I know everything. That is why I'm so confident. Yes.
Right. So my time is up. It's rather unfortunate we're ending on this particular note. That's a sad story I heard just from you. I wonder if we can ever pick any topic and do away with corruption. I don't think we can. So we ended up on whether or not President Mahama is able to actually fight corruption. But corruption is not just about giving money out. I mean, certain things, dubious means you use in covering our stuff are all involved or in corruption or can be tagged as corrupt acts. So my name is Annie. I've been joined in the studio by, or I was joined in the studio by Honorable Kwabena Woyome. He is a Southern Constituency MP, and the MP for Achimota, William Ejapon Kwetu, was also a member of minority in Parliament, who also joined in the discussion. Thank you, gentlemen, for your discussion. Earlier on, we spoke with Honorable Member of Parliament for Ayawaso Central, Honorable Henry Korte. He was also caught in the demolishing wahala, and he gave us his explanation. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, we're here with another educative topic. My name is Annie Ekwampo. Thanks for watching, and have a good morning.